Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy 3Stacks in this thing. Very excited to showcase you guys a deck today. This is a very special treat. It's something that's been very popular on my channel. My Necros build has been extremely popular. My Cosmos build, extremely popular. A couple of my Metal Foes, ABC variants. Of course, my Herald of Perfection. A couple of my other ritual decks, my Prediction Princesses, my Invokes. Some of my Zodiac builds, of course, my Monarchs, my Cubics, and oh my goodness. It was like a cubic mask hero deck. There's a lot of different like fun treats that I like to keep updating because they're so popular and have, gotten thousands and thousands of views. So I'm updating my Monarch build for you guys. This is Murderous Monarchs, Domain Brings the Pain. So without further ado, let's hop right into this. So we are playing 3 copies of Idea. Very clutch. I look at her as just more copies of Pantheism because she loops your 1 Pantheism. And this is Pantheism Turbo, by the way. And Monarchs, of course, are an incredible contender for Link format because they just don't need Link monsters. You don't have to worry about wasting your resources to Link summon. I know that Gofu could be a 1-card Link summon, but if you don't have Gofu, you're going to have to waste resources to Link summon. This deck does not need to worry about that. We play 3 Idea. She helps you to tutor out your tribute summons and also recycles your Pantheism. And sometimes you banish the Stormforth and bring it back to your hand and use it again. And we also play 3 copies of Idols. This guy's really lit, obviously because he just recurs your idea and you have never-ending loops. It's really cool. Sometimes you burn out of steam before you're able to, finish your opponent off. But we also play 3 Gofus. Gofu just is insane because even though the tokens can't be tributed for tribute summons, Gofu brings out free tribute fodder by special summoning itself, and you can tribute him and use Karaz's effect, popping the 2 tokens you got for free and get a free +2. Which is really cool. And if you have Return of the Monarchs, you get a +3 because you get a search and a draw for 2 cards, which is really cool. So Gofu has awesome interactions in this deck. There's so many different ways you can abuse them. In addition to the Karaz play, if you have Domain, you can literally just summon any Monarch with Gofu. And the tokens will be there. It's just floaters and fodder for Karaz later on. And it's just really cool. Like, he's also allowing me to play Allure of Darkness comfortably at 3 without worrying about banishing too many Erebus or banishing too many Idols. And that is it for the tribute fodder, basically enabling your plays. And for the actual Monarchs now, we are playing 3 copies of Erebus. This guy's insane going first, snatching the most important play of your opponent. You definitely want to snatch Diagram or Masterpiece, or you want to snatch that Heritage sometimes. And sometimes you snatch their 1 Ignis Heat or their 1 Dynamite Knuckles, and then they're trying to demise in duality into, a monster to summon. Because they run like 8 monsters. So Erebus can take the most important play. And he's just so broken because he doesn't target or destroy. And he also recycles every single Monarch, which is broken. The 1 Aether, you just keep looping her. Use her effect, bring out Karaz, pop her, and then use Erebus, chain his effect, bring her back. Not chain his effect, activate his effect. Bring her back from the graveyard, add her to your hand, summon her. It's just stupid. Like, you could just summon her again, next turn, or wait on your opponent's turn to summon her again that way. One's a board, because he's just no extra deck. There's an insane combo that I ran with my Super Quantum Monarch build, where you would activate Zaborg, send Magnus, and 3 other Super Quantum ships, or you could just send all your Super Quantum ships, and both your Magnuses with activate, and you can spam those ships. It's just really cool. Like, he's just so clutch. This guy's just ridiculously powerful. I love what Zaborg does. Like, there's just so many different ways you can abuse him in certain decks. And Thessalos is really broken. I just love him. And again, with the Zaborg thing, it's just really awesome. Because there are a lot of times when I had, a Super Quantum Grand Pulse and Ouroboros and even a red, the Magna Liner in my graveyard, and I did not have a Magna Carrier to send it to summon Magnus. So I had to use Zaborg's effect. And, I could pop himself or another light on the field, and then use his effect to send both my Magnuses to the grave or one of my Magnuses and other stuff, and then trigger Magnus's effect to summon those Super Quantums that you XYZ summoned. Bring them back. Really cool. I like them a lot. And of course you can overlay, but I'm talking about Quantums. This is Monarchs, but this is really cool. Like, a combo that I did with my Super Quantum Monarchs. It was a pure Super Quantum, full variant. All the Rangers, all the Megazords, and of course Magnus itself. Thessalos, similar to Erebus, you just, steal more cards from your opponent, and you burn. We're also playing 3 Karaz for the Draw Magic. Karaz is by far the most broken Monarch in this deck, because he doesn't have to be tribute summoned. Really cool. He has just such clutch interactions. This guy's broken. Sometimes, I have my Metal Foes Fusion in my hand, and I just activate Karaz's effect, pop Metal Foes, pop another, draw, and then draw another one. So this deck can plus really hard, and it deck ends faster than the True Dracos actually can. Like, I understand True Dracos can run Demise, they can run Dualities, and they can run Desires, but they still can't deck thin as fast as Monarchs can. And I feel like True Dracos are, you know, the new age of Monarchs, but Monarchs aren't old, bro. They're like a year in. You know, they're still a broken deck to me, and I've always played them. And even when they got hit on the ban list and people said Monarchs are dead, I proved you guys wrong multiple times. I played one Majesty's Fiend, perfect at one, he's searchable and recyclable off of the Erebus. Vanity's Fiend is not all that because True Dracos don't special at all, but they do activate monster effects, and this guy is a continuous effect that prevents them from being activated. I'm not sure what the ruling is on Masterpiece. If, you know, he's already face up on the field and they try to summon Masterpiece, I don't know if Masterpiece's effect will kick in to make him unaffected by Majesties. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say that, but he's still a very, very powerful monster. So that will sum up the monster count. Next up, for the madness, you know, the just engines. We play 3 Foolish Burial Goods. This is an excellent spell in this deck. Sometimes you don't have Idols, you don't have Erebus. I'm sorry, you don't have Idols, Idea, or Gofu in your hand, but you have a Monarch and you have Domain. Or let's just say, for example, you have like something like Karaz, or you know, just a level 6 1 tribute Monarch. Or again, if you have Domain and you have, you know, a Monarch that you can reveal and tribute for 1, but you have no tribute fodder, you can activate Foolish Burial Goods, send your Prime Monarch to the graveyard, banish another Monarch spell or trap, special summon it, and there you have your tribute summon. So this is like, if you don't have Idea, Idols, or Gofu, you can still tribute summon with Foolish Burial Goods. So I just think it's a great combo overextender. It fixes hands where you draw nothing but Monarchs and no way to tribute, but you draw Foolish Burial Goods. And then you can just tribute. It's really, really clutch. You have to have a Monarch spell in grave, of course, spell or trap in the grave, of course, to activate Prime, but it's so clutch. And it just sets you up so well. I also play Metal Force Fusion, obviously, for the draw power. And the most important reason for playing Foolish Burial Goods, like I said in the beginning of this video, this is Pantheism Turbo. I wanted to just abuse the crap out of Pantheism and show you guys, even though that it's at 1, this spell is so live. They should have banned it, but they didn't. So you just turbo out your Pantheism, just get it straight to the grave, banish it, and then use Idea to bring it back to your hand, then activate its draw effect, and just keep going off from there. It's really, really cool. So you actually play 7 copies, 7 copies of Pantheism in the form of 3 Tenacity and the 3 Foolish Burial Goods and the 1 Pantheism itself. Really, really clutch. And also, you can always mill it from your deck off of your own Erebus or Idea. Erebus or, what's her name? Aether. So 3 Foolish Burial Goods. It's just such a broken staple. It's too many different ways where you can abuse this stuff. It's just way too broken. You don't have to play it, but I love Foolish Burial Goods. I've created an engine out of this and Metal Force Fusion and made basically a new way to upstart, which, man, I hope Konami don't notice it because they might try to hit it. But 3 Tenacity is your Rhoda for everything. Obviously, this is just consistency. That's the word that should be ringing in your head through this whole deck profile. 3 copies of Allure. This deck, you just want to dig. Get straight to your most important cards. And of course, I'm playing 2 copies of Trade-In. I just wanted to play it comfortably, even though we do play, I think, 6 or 7 targets for Trade-In. If I'm not mistaken, we actually just play 6. Let me count. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we just play 6 targets for Trade-In. And also, even though Erebus can actually technically bring himself back from the grave to Trade-In again, I just felt that Trade-In was not an extremely important combo piece, but it's great to have because you do have those hands where you have Erebus and you have another Monarch that you don't need. For example, if I have Erebus and I have Zaborg, I'm going to summon Erebus. So Zaborg, I could just trade him in and draw 2 fresh cards, you know, and just continue with my play. So the deck has such insane consistency and draw power. It eliminates the argument where people would say Monarchs brick a lot. No, they don't. You just have to build them right. It's not the deck, it's the person building it, I promise. 2 copies of Return. You can play this at 3. Me personally, I'm just trying it out at 2. I've been playing it at 2 for the longest. It's always worked out for me. I never really use my Pantheism on Return, but when I do use Pantheism on Return, you can just reveal 1 Tenacity and 2 Returns, and it's the same thing. And it's so funny sometimes, like, Tenacity can actually trick your opponent. Like, I've revealed Tenacity off of my Pantheism with not even having an actual Monarch in my hand, just to force my opponent to give me what I want. I'll give you guys a great example. You can banish Pantheism, and if you absolutely want to have your March of the Monarchs, with I play at 2. I do not play 3 because I don't want to brick on it. You can reveal 2 March, right? And 1 Tenacity. Your opponent does not know that you don't have the Monarch in your hand to reveal off of Tenacity. They're going to assume because you reveal Tenacity that you can use it. So they're not going to give you Tenacity. They don't want to give you more deck than you. They're just going to say pick a March. So Tenacity is also a really powerful spell because it can trick your opponent into thinking that you have it and you don't. And you'll basically force them to give you what you wanted in the first place. It's always worked. Now, of course, because you don't have a Monarch in your hand when you try that trick, just be careful when you try that, because if they give you the Tenacity, you can't use it. But most of the time, it works that way, and it's just a mind game. So Tenacity is more broken than people know. It's just so clutch. The one Pantheism, this is Pantheism Turbo, obviously. You have 7 ways to get to Pantheism and 6 ways to recycle it. Really clutch. One Rhoda, just for more ideas. More ideas, that's funny. Manifold's Fusion for the Foolish Barrel Goods, and when you draw it, you pop it with Karaz. So it's just so clutch. It's never ever dead. It's always live. So that sums up the consistent portion of the spells, which is all just searching and drawing, searching and drawing, searching and drawing. And this is a lot. In addition to Karaz and Aether and Erebus, that's just a lot of consistency. For the lockdown portion of the deck, we play 3 copies of the new reprinted shiny sexy domains, 2 March of the Monarchs, and 1 Stormforth. These are the spells that basically instill fear in your opponent's heart. These are the spells he's scared of. These are the spells, if you're playing against Monarchs, that you never want the Monarch player to get to. So I just call this the lockdown portion of the deck, because these are your ultimate setup: Domain and March and Stormforth. Because your stuff is it's protected, it can't be targeted or destroyed. Your opponent can't summon from the extra deck, and you can Stormforth them and summon your Aether and bring out Karaz. Just really clutch. That sums up the spells. And for traps, you can play real traps in this deck, but this is Domain Monarchs. I choose to play 3 copies of the Prime. You can play this at any number that you want. I just love this. This trap keeps me in the game. This is your live more, win more kind of card. It's just so broken. You have to play 3 Primes if you want to have grind game synergy. Because a lot of the times you will be special summoning 2 of them or sending 2 of them directly from your deck to the grave to summon onto the field. So you need at least 1 to put back everything that you need. Because this deck ends so fast, you need to recycle your resources. And 1 escalation. If you want, you can honestly play 2 Prime and 2 escalations. I chose 3 Prime and 1 escalation. It's my build anyways. But that will sum up the deck profile. This is Domain, and I do have a small request to make of you guys. Team King of Games now has a Patreon page, and we also have a GoFundMe page. Now, the reason why I decided to start that is because every single deck that you guys have asked me to do, I have spent money out of my own pocket for. So I've actually lost out on thousands and thousands of dollars that could have went, contributing to my future, putting up money for bills, or just being safe and saving it for the rainy day. But I chose to go out of my way, to pick stuff up for you guys. Now, I've heard a lot of people saying that my channel needs a better camera and better equipment and, editing videos and all that good stuff. You guys can help me out by supporting me on Patreon, GoFundMe, or even PayPal. We also have a PayPal. There's 3 different ways you guys can support us right now. If you truly do love this channel and you want to contribute to improving the future quality of all of my content and making everything the way you want it, you can control that and directly contribute. You don't have to, because I'm still going to spend my hard-earned money to, fulfill every deck request that you guys make. But it would help me out a lot because I am a single man and life is hard. And a lot of times I do struggle because, I go out of my way for you guys. And I'm not saying, hey, I put my bill money into this. I separate everything. I keep my money on the side specifically for this channel. So I do go out of my way, and I ask that you guys show some love in return and try and support this channel. You don't have to support it with money or even, pledges. You can support this channel by promoting it to your friends, telling your friends about us. But nonetheless, I did want to take the time out of my day to ask you guys, show some love to the channel. I will leave 3 different links in the description box below when I upload this video to show you guys how you can go to the page. If you love this team and you love the innovation and the creativity that we bring to you guys, the fresh new ideas, you can show your appreciation and also help me out. Trust me, it helps me a lot more than you know, because I'm trying to get more equipment for this channel. I'm also trying to do a lot of things for this channel, but I can't afford to do it all on my own. And right now, I'm the only person who actually contributes money-wise to this channel. So it would help out a lot if you guys would be willing to support us. But nonetheless, I'm not asking for nothing really. I'm letting you guys know that you can support us if you want to. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Be safe.